Now we will learn about the anticipatory breach, which is based on the anticipation as in word, which does mean you are anticipating something, you are just guessing or expecting something to, you have an expectation of something before something occurs. So anticipatory breach, it says that it is when one party informs the other expressly or impliedly. Now, do you know what does these two meaning? What is the difference between the two? Expressly or impliedly, what they are there, what is the difference between the, what is the two different, what is this two things which create a difference, or what is the difference between the two? Expressly means you are very vocal about it, okay, you are saying it again and again, you are writing this inside the contract. Implied means something which is assumed, okay. In law, something will be expressly stated or some other things will be impliedly there, okay. It is when one party informs the other party that he does not intend to perform his obligation as per the contract, as it seems that a party won't be able to perform a significant part of the obligation. अगर आपसे कोई एक पार्टी आके कहती है कि I will not be able to perform this obligation, this my side of the obligation, so now I want to know, is this a time to do fulfill or perform obligation? See, the time to perform the obligation is still away, is yet to come, Hana. This is not the time. This is not the time to. This is not the time to perform the obligation. You are still away from this. This is yet to come. Away from this, you or either of the one of you is saying that I will not be able to perform my obligation at the day when I will have to. So this is what the anticipatory breach, okay? When one party says that I will not be able to perform, I'm backing out of my obligation. I will not be there to perform my obligation. This is what the anticipatory. You're anticipating that one party will not be there. You're not anticipating, but you have a right. You basically know, or you got to know that one party will not be there, and there is a basically the discussion between the two parties, either the discussion or either through the implied. Okay. Now एक्सप्रेसली तो ये हो सकता है कि वो आके आपसे ये बोल दे कि भाई मैं काम नहीं कर पाऊंगा, आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू परफॉर्म दिस. इम्प्लाइड का मतलब क्या है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आफ्टर 2 day देर इज अ शो दैट नीड टू बी कंडक्टेड, और जो आर्टिस्ट था दैट हैज टू कम 3 days बिफोर, है ना, बिफोर द शो. अभी तक वो आया ही नहीं है और वो कॉल भी पिक नहीं कर रहा. सो दिस इज व्हाट इम्प्लाइड थिंग, कि वो नहीं आएगा, है ना, ही विल नॉट बी देयर टू परफॉर्म देयर ऑब्लिगेशन. सी दिस, or it seems that the party won't be able to perform the significant part of this obligation. So यहाँ पे ये बोल रहे हैं ना that it seems, so it is what implied. It seems का मतलब है this is दिख रहा है, ऐसा दिख रहा है. Okay, is that okay? Have you understood the anticipated breach? They will be 1-2 question on this topic only. This from here to here, they will be giving you 1-2 question. Okay. Hello, are we on the same page?
So
Could
can
you
you
allow me to
explain
move?
once more?
Sure. So anticipatory breach is the one where either one party is stating that they will not be there to perform their obligation, because ultimately assume there is a one contact between A and B. These are the two parties. Okay, there is a show need to be done, और ये artist है, A is an artist, B is basically the event manager. B asks A to come to perform on the show, in a show, okay, and there isn't basically the payment that need to be made now. And there was an agreement in the contract, it was written that A will be there 3 days before, because there is a rehearsal that need to be done. Now either A would call to B and say I will not be going to attain this, okay, first of all. Second thing that can happen is that the 2 days are left and A has not shown up, not he is not even picking up the calls. So if he is not there, or he's not following the contract, or it seems that he will not be there to perform the contract, so this is what impliedly he is stating, that I'm not going to fulfill my part of the obligations. and that will lead to the anticipatory breach. Now why this is an anticipatory breach is that because जो show perform हो रहा है ना, the show that need to be performed is yet to come. There is still a time when the performance will need to be delivered. Okay, the obligation will be delivered. So उससे पहले जो discussion हो रहा है that there is a risk whether this party would come or not to perform. So this is an anticipatory breach. Okay. But when it is in breach, so it does mean this is for sure that party will not be there to perform their obligation. Is that okay now? Are you done? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Samvit, are you
Yes,
there?
yes, yes, yes. Thank
Now we
you.
will learn okay, done. Now we will learn about the installment contract. Okay. So these are basically the general provisions that we are learning about. Okay. Common provisions. Installment contract. What is that? This contracted is composed means is made of the multiple separate part. For example, a contract to spread out the delivery of goods throughout the year, like a start of the every month over the year. If one party default any installment, the other party can declare the contract voided with respect to the installment. If after one default the party has reasonable ground for the anticipatory breach, he can declare the contract voided. One of the great example of this is that you have brought a car on the EMI. Okay, the default in the EMI will can give rise to the other party to make this contract as in void. Okay, avoided one. Done. Hello. Can you proceed now?
Yes,
Samit, are you there?
yes, sir.
If we talk about the damages, they include losses, including loss of the profit suffered by one party due to the breach. Wonderful. So जो damages होंगी ना, whatever the money damages that will play, they will include the losses, the direct losses which has been suffered, not the indirect losses. Okay, including the loss of the profit suffered by one party due to the breach of the contract. Okay, no indirect losses should be counted. What can be the indirect losses there? For example, the discussion that we had about the show. If so is not going to be conducted at that date, in that case, the ticket price, okay, whatever the ticket price has been sold, that need to be written. So the earning from the ticket is basically the earning, है ना? और जो इवेंट मैनेजमेंट ने जो पैसा लगाया, whatever the expenses he has incurred is basically the expenses. So he can recover the expenses when there is an anticipated breach, and he can recover the earning, some portion of the earning. Okay. Hello. He cannot say that the artist who would come and do the endorsement in the show, and I'm losing that money. I have a possibility of losing that money. So whatever things will be there on the possibility, you will not be getting any damages on the possibility. When you have a possible source of the income, if that thing will be taking place, if you have a possible source of income from that, so that possible source will be meaned, or it will be deemed as an indirect source or indirect loss, and that will not be considered when you will be deciding the damages to be availed. Okay. What is a mitigation? Mitigation means minimize the risk. Any party who seek damages for the breach contract must take sufficient measures to minimize the loss caused by the breach of the contract. If you do not mitigate, in that case, it could possible that damages will not be given to you. There is one thing I would like to say, guys, you have to focus on where there is a may, where there is a must, okay? Where there is a might. Because this single word can change the essence of the sentence, Okay? If you're not going to mitigate by yourself, in that case, you will not be having any damages. If this would have been may, the sentence meaning would have been different. If we talk about the next point, which is here the interest, a party is entitled to receive interest at an appropriate rate determined by the applicable law if the other party fails to pay the price, any other sums in arrear, interest on outstanding balance. Okay, any party is entitled to receive interest at an appropriate rate determined by the applicable law if the other party fails to pay the price, any other sum in arrear, and interest on the outstanding balance. What are the exemptions? A party is not liable to pay damages for not performing if failure was beyond his control. The show was cancelled because of natural disaster. In that case, was this in a control of the artist or not? It was not in the control of the artist. In that case, the artist would not be paying damages. Yes or no? Failure was beyond the control of the third party. He engaged to perform the contact. Event management was not able to perform something. Event management was not able to do at the play when there is a natural disaster. That wasn't altogether the natural thing that has happened. There was no individual could have done something. The impediment could not have been reasonably taken into the account by him during the signing the contract. Impediment means something when you're doing something, so you basically look around the possibility of completing that. The possibility of the risks, what are the possible risks of there, what are the those things need to be taken care of. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि the place where you going to attend a webinar or attend a show जहाँ पे नेचुरल डिजास्टर होते रहते हैं, there is an every next day there is an कुछ एक्सीडेंट होता है, कुछ this would be an unsuccessful event. If you are going to attend or have an event over there, in that case you are not following the impediment. Okay, if the contact is declared avoided when the party already completed, in that case the party can claim the restitution means it is a compensation of whatever has been supplied or paid under the contract. Okay, this is basically I'm talking about the event management. In our case, whatever the expenses he incurred. If both party owe restitution, so it must be carried out parallelly. It does mean whatever the net of will be paid off. Okay. If we talk about the other the common provision which is there, preservation of the good. A seller must take appropriate and reasonable care to preserve the good. If the buyer has delayed his acceptance of the good, preserve means to keep the good, है ना? To keep the goods carefully. Okay. A seller must take appropriate and reasonable care to preserve the goods. If the buyer has declared his acceptance of the goods, when the payment and the delivery of goods are done simultaneously, and the seller controls the goods, if the seller retained the goods if the seller retained the good in case the buyer is in the breach and has yet to reimburse the seller. I think that was it from your chapter number 3. All risks with the seller, all risks with the buyer. Okay. This is in arrival. This is in departure. Probably there might be some other difficult things which you have observed in this chapter. The most one were from the intercomes, otherwise it wasn't more of an important topic. You will see one of the question coming in your section B. The higher possibility from the contract formation, the acceptance, the invitation to read, those will be the things that will be highly tested in the section B. And in a section A, the intercomes that could be there, okay? Another areas will be there. Okay. It could possible that intercomes could be tested in a section B as well. The two portion which can give rise to the section B question are the intercomes and the formation of the contract. Otherwise, the possibility of coming this chapter will be there in section A as well. And this chapter will be there in the paper no matter what it is, whether in section A and section B. It's going to be the part of your paper. So just read this, prepare this yourself, do attempt some of the questions. I will be taking on some question tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Monday. And then we will see, we'll start with the next chapter as well and attempt some of the question. Okay. But before that, I want you to revise this chapter and attempt the BPP and Kaplan. Would it be okay for you? Hello.
Okay, sir.
Then I will attempt some of the question by myself in tomorrow, Monday class.
Okay, sir.
So with this, we are done with the 3
Okay,
chapters.
sir.
And when I do say 3 chapters, so do you know that what is the portion that we have completed? So these are the
Yes.
question. So this is a portion which you will be doing. Okay. You will be attempting this question by yourself. Then I will on Monday I will be taking some of the question just as a mean of the revision, and then we'll do attempt some of the question where you will be facing the difficulty. Is it okay? Huh?
Okay, sir.
And then we'll start our
Okay.
discussion with the next chapter which is there. Okay. And in Kaplan also you can start the question from here. Where it is, where it is. Yes, 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 yes. So you can have some question from this international business transaction, okay? This portion. They will be like starting from 48 to, I don't know, maybe 80, 40 questions are there. 40, 45 questions are there, okay?
Okay, sir.
This is all what need to do. And after that, you will come to the section B. The essential element of the, what is this about? Multiple task questions. Okay. So they have given some multiple task question in this area. This is something I will be doing later on. But for the time being, what you have to do, you have to attempt these questions. Okay. This one and attempt some of the question. So start with the BPP, complete all these three areas. Whatever the difficulty you will be having, a note down that I will be discussing with that. And in after that, you will be attempting this portion, the international business transaction. Transportation payment is something the next topic that we will be doing in the next class. Okay. And after completing that one, we will be completing this question. I will be attempting 2 to 3 questions from this area, this from here to here, and the rest over I will be assigning as an homework. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So what we are going to do in the next class, I will start with the next chapter, which is there. I will start with this question. So we are done with this question. I will start with this question. We'll take the BPP practice kit, whatever the doubt you would be having, then Kaplan one. Okay. Then I will take some of the, then I will take some of the section B question from your kit, and the kit is the Kaplan one. Okay. I will be taking like 3, 4 questions from whatever the questions are there, and then I will assign another to you. Is that okay? So by this, we have almost covered up to 8, 8, 16, and then 40. So we have covered almost 40% of the paper. Okay. Hello. At least 35 to 40% is covered from the syllabus area. The leftover portion will be covered from here to here. That will be close to 55% maybe. Okay, that is something done left which we will be doing. So
Okay,
the
sir.
major something you will find an unusual thing or something, क्योंकि यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत बोरियत वाले चैप्टर थे, those were the terms थोड़े बहुत लगे थे अजीब. The next thing you will find in this chapter, यहाँ के बाद whatever the chapter you will be having, you will enjoy them. Okay, we will not be taking major time from here to here. The last difficult or some unusual topic where you have to put extra effort will be this one. Otherwise यहाँ से चीजें like conceptual understanding will help you a lot. Okay. So with this note, is there anything you would like to ask or before I just end this session?
No, sir.
Done. Thank you. Have a good time. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.